Hi everyone, in today's video we are going to be reviewing some brand new products from Florasis. So we have some brand new face palettes, some brand new eyeshadow palettes, we have some new blushes, some new highlighters, some new powders, but the main event is their brand new liquid foundation. I've been testing this out for the past week and today I'm ready to bring my thoughts to you. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, then please do keep on watching. All of these products were very kindly gifted to me by Florasis. However, despite the fact that they were gifted, you are still going to get a very honest review of these products. So I think today, for a change, we are going to start with the face. I never do my face first, but I know that people are going to be really interested in this new foundation launch because I was really excited when I got my hands on this. So I think what we'll do is we'll do the foundation and then I'm going to show you some of the eyeshadow palettes, some of the face palettes. Oh my gosh, some of this stuff is literally out of this world. So this is their Serum Touch Perfecting Longwear Foundation. This comes in 18 shades. This foundation retails for £40 and for that you get 30 ml of product. It is a lightweight formula which effortlessly conceals minor imperfections, which evens out the skin tone for a natural, flawless finish. So this foundation boasts many lovely ingredients. So it contains delicate floral extracts of peony, water lily and glycerin. So it claims to be a very hydrating foundation which will give you a lovely natural finish. Florasis did ask me to choose 3 different shades and I really want to get this out of the way before we get into this review. And I do have an issue with the shades and the shade range. So there are 18 shades to choose from, which isn't very surprising that there is such a small variety of shades because, you know, big companies like Hourglass get away with 18 shades. My issue is the depth of the shades, and I don't believe that the darkest shade is dark enough. So that is my one issue before we get started. The shade range I don't think is inclusive enough, and I'm really hoping that if this foundation is a success that they will formulate some deeper, darker shades, because the darkest shade is definitely not dark enough. So they sent me the shades and they asked me to choose 3. So my goal was to just choose my shade and then have 2 spares that I could give away. And I really thought that with my first choice, it would be absolutely perfect. But it turns out that none of these shades really are very perfect for my skin tone. Yeah, my first choice is the most accurate to my skin tone, and that is N25 Oat. So I'll swatch them on my hand for you first. So this is N25. And look, I can make this work. It's a little bit too light. It's just a little bit too light for me. Then we have N30, N25 Oat and N30 Toffee. And I feel like that's such a big jump between those two. I did pick up a warm shade as well because I do have some muted warm undertones. And then I have W30 Sand, which is a warm shade. Yeah, so I think, you know, somewhere between N25 and W30 is my perfect shade. So I might mix a little bit of the two today. We'll see. We'll see how we get on. I don't usually prime my skin with a specific primer before I test a foundation. Today, I'm actually going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to wear a primer on one side and no primer on the other, just so that I can see them side by side to see if there's any difference, because I have worn this with a primer and without and I can't decide whether it looks better with or without. So I'm wondering if I can just see them both on the face, that I might be able to come up with a decision on that. If you've been here before, you'll know I don't really use primers. I use my Charlotte Tilbury moisturizer and I'm done. But I've definitely fallen in love with a primer recently and I've not reviewed it on the channel yet because I've been wanting to kind of test it out, but I'll probably be featuring it in a favorites video soon. And this is a new product from Vive. This is the Super Skin Nova. I still don't really understand what this is, if I'm honest with you. It's like a moisturizer, primer, hybrid. But all I know is that I love it and I've been using it every day. So I am maybe going to use the primer on this side and then leave this side clear. This product, although I don't fully understand it, all I know is that I just genuinely love it. But this video isn't about this primer, but I will be talking about this in future videos. So I'm just going to rub that in. So it's like a moisturizer, like a hybrid, but it has this colour, but it doesn't really come out that colour on the skin. It's, I don't know, I'm confused. I don't know what it is, but I love it. N30 Toffee is too dark for me, way too dark, so we won't be using that today. So I think I'm going to go in with N25 and I'm going to mix just a teeny weeny amount of W30 in with it, because I think that might make my perfect shade. Yeah, so I'm just mixing a little bit of W30 in with it, and we might come up with the perfect shade here, but obviously you're not going to have two shades. I'm lucky enough that I was sent two shades. Start on the non-primed side. I've got nothing else on my face apart from the primer and moisturizer over here, and I've got nothing over here apart from moisturizer. So yeah, once it blends, it kind of becomes one with the skin, and it's really nice once it's blended in. You see, so it kind of just melts into the skin. It's really clever. So let's just, let's blend this out. And I'm just blending this in with my BK Beauty 101 foundation brush. So that's one half of the face done. And then nothing on there. And I barely used anything. This foundation literally goes such a long way. You can probably do your whole face with, yeah, a pump. You can do your whole face with a pump for sure. So I've done my whole face now, and I still have loads left. So that's a really good sign for me. The fact that it's not going to take me mountains of products to cover my whole face. Now, I've not brought it underneath my eyes because I never do with foundation. So this is how we're looking. And let's take a look at a before and an after. So in terms of the finish, it's not dewy or glowy. It's not satin. I would describe this foundation as very natural. It has a natural skin-like finish. And every time that I've worn this, I've been so impressed with how my skin has looked. I'd say it's given me a medium coverage, which is buildable. It feels very lightweight. It just feels and looks like skin. But I think that despite the fact that it's a natural finish and it doesn't claim to be dewy, it does have a level of luminosity. So there are ingredients in there that are hydrating. So for example, the glycerin extract, and that is supposed to deliver hydration, and I can feel that hydration. Every time that I've worn this, it's been absolutely beautiful. So it doesn't settle into lines or emphasize any texture. I mean, my skin is normal to dry. It doesn't emphasize any of that. The only thing I would say about this foundation, and it's why I used a primer on one side and not on the other, sometimes when I've worn it, I've really been able to see my pores. But when I'm looking now, it definitely looks better on the primed side than the non-primed side. So on this side, I can see just a little bit of pore emphasizing here, but on this side, it looks incredibly smooth. So I think that although you'd really have to overanalyze your face to see the pores, and obviously I'm looking out for stuff like that when I'm testing, but I definitely feel like this foundation looks flawless when you use a primer with it, for sure. Let me just show you a little bit of daylight footage now that I've taken this week. I always think that when you're in the car lighting will show you every single flaw and every issue on your face. It's reality. I mean, it just looks beautiful. It looks like skin. I mean, obviously I look like I've got makeup on, but nobody's going to look at me and think that my foundation looks heavy or cakey. It's really, really natural looking. And I also filmed some footage 8 hours in. Now it's dark here in Ireland at the minute. We've had 10 days of absolutely zero sunshine. But this does not budge once it's on your face. So it claims to be waterproof. It claims to be sweat proof. So I did test this in the week, but I'm going to just show you now a little transfer test. So I have a plain white tissue here. And yeah, very, very minimal. So there's barely anything there. But I did test this halfway through the day when obviously the foundation had fully set down and I didn't get any transfer from this foundation. So it doesn't claim to be transfer proof, but it pretty much is as close as you're going to get. On that tissue, there was a tiny little bit of transfer, but it really is very, very minimal. So my thoughts on this foundation, some of the negatives. Number one, I'm really disappointed with how dark the shades go. I have to be honest about that. I don't think it's very inclusive. So I would love to say that everybody should pick up this foundation, but it's very hard for me to do so when not everybody is able to access this foundation. So that is a real shame. And also I do think that sometimes if you've not primed your skin properly, it could emphasize a few pores here and there. But as a whole, this is a beautiful foundation. It gives me a finish that I really genuinely love. So it's not on the dewy side, it's not on the matte side, it's just super pretty and natural. It's an absolutely gorgeous foundation that will last you all day without fading or transferring or slipping away off your face. It's just really, really pretty, and I just really wish they had more shades. Right, I'm going to pop a little bit of concealer on and then we are going to move on to our eyes. And oh my gosh, I've got some really, really beautiful eyeshadow palettes to show you. So Florasis are known as being the most beautiful makeup brand in the world, and I have reviewed their products before on my channel, and they are insanely beautiful to look at. But not only that, they are absolutely quality products. And they sent me eyeshadow palettes. The packaging itself is just so beautiful. Floral Engraving Phoenix makeup palette, and this is in the shade Burgundy Sunset. They're just the whole package. Packaging, eyeshadows, the formulas, the payoff, everything about these palettes are just incredible. You absolutely get your money's worth and more. Have you ever seen a more beautiful eyeshadow palette in all of your life? Seriously. So eyeshadows, but you can also use on the face as well. I mean, that's just ridiculous, isn't it? Look at that. Absolutely stunning embossing on these eyeshadows. So again, you can use these on the eyes, but on the face as well. I said this in my previous review. Sometimes it makes me not want to use them because they are so pretty, and that's the only drawback I see of these eyeshadows, is that they are kind of too pretty to use. That's how I feel about them. I think I'm going to use a mix of these two. I'm going to use the both of them because why not? We'll dip into both of them. Okay, so I think we are going to start over here. And I think we'll kick off with this colour here, this lovely pinky colour. And I have prepped my eyes with my Urban Decay Primer Potion. And this is my Zoeva 228 brush. And I'm just taking that pink as a transition. See how beautifully they blend out? They are so easy to use and they're not too scary because they're not super overly pigmented, and that's why I enjoy using Florasis eyeshadows, because they're really hard to mess up. I find really, really hard. So very, very beginner friendly. And that's why I always say if somebody's looking for a makeup gift for somebody, I feel like Florasis is a really, really great option, because even for a real beginner, I think that they would find eyeshadows such as these really, really easy to use. And you wouldn't have to worry that your gift would be not gratefully received or used. So then I'm going to go into this palette and I'm going to go into this shade here, Wow, it's raining really hard outside. What a shocker. Raining in Ireland. Who knew? Who knew? So I'm taking my Nicola Rose N13 BK Beauty brush and just tapping into that shade. That's a lovely shade. It's like a reddy brown. And I'm just going to take that into the crease. See how easily that blended out in literally no time at all? So good. I think then I'm going to dip into this deep burgundy here. That is so pretty. I'm going to take my Refa 13 for that. So these makeup palettes come in 4 different colour stories. They celebrate the beauty and quiet wisdom of patient resilience. The exquisite pattern honours the Eastern relief engraving craftsmanship and the powerful myth of all birds pay homage to the phoenix. They are smooth and seamless and talc-free with minimal fallout. The microfine particles arranged in unique 3D lattice structure glides effortlessly and evenly over the skin for an ultra-smooth buildable layer of comfortable pigment. They're very versatile and you can use these palettes for eyeshadow, for blush, for contour and for highlighter. Right, I've had my eye on this shade at the end, this gold. I have to use it. Oh, that's right up my alley, that. Right up my alley. Wow. And I'm just blending that with my finger into the deeper shades, just so that it looks a little bit more cohesive. That is so pretty. You know how excited I get over shimmers. And I'm getting just a tiny bit of fallout, but nothing major. I'm then taking my Angie Hot and Flashy A505 shimmer brush and I'm just going to bring some of that shade into the inner corner. And then I'm taking my Refa 03 pencil brush and then I'm going to go in with this shade that I used earlier and I'm just going to bring that under the lash line. And then I'm going to take this deep brown and just bring it on top of the lash line with the same brush. Okay, that is super pretty. I really love those palettes. They are so beautiful and they don't just look beautiful, they are beautiful. They are as good as any other palette that you're going to get. Now, they don't have the same kind of intensity in pigment that some other palettes will have, such as your Pat McGrath, but actually I think that makes them a little bit more user-friendly and yeah, just so beautiful. Okay, let me get some mascara on and then we will finish off the face. Okay, so Florasis sent me 2 face palettes. Look at the absolutely stunning packaging on these. And these are the Eastern Beasts Sculpting Makeup Palette, the Ode to Embroidery, and these are their new releases. So beautiful. I have 2 shades, 1 and 2. So as I said, it can be used as a blush, highlighter, bronzer, contour, eyeshadow. These retail for £45. So I think we will use this as a bronzer. It's quite neutral. So I'm going to take my Nicola Rose N17 brush and I'm just going to tap in a little bit because I don't know how pigmented this is going to be. Oh, so that's very subtle, isn't it? That's enough, isn't it? That's natural. Oh, that's really pretty, isn't it? I feel like with this Nicola Rose brush, I know Nikki says that you should use one side for cream, one side for powder, and obviously she knows best. But I like using both for cream and powder. I think it's a really versatile brush in that sense. Okay, I like that. That's enough for me. Florasis did send me some separate blushes. So these are the Ethereal Flush Smooth Powder Blush. And this again is part of their new collection, the Ode to Embroidery. Now these are expensive. These are £24 each. So this is the shade Coral Whisper. Look at this lavender. That is Lilac Haze. Wow. I'm tempted. I am tempted. And then we have Candy Clouds. I mean, none of them massively jump out to me. I mean, look at Candy Clouds. That's the Lilac Haze. I'm tempted by it. I mean, you know, I'm not the biggest powder blush fan in the world, so I'm a little bit scared. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of any of those shades. What do you think I should do? I wish this was live so that you could actually tell me what to pick. I think I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to go in with that. Yeah, I think we're playing it safe. Yeah, are you surprised? It's me we're talking about. So I'm just wiped off my Nikki LaRose N17 and I am going to pop into this blush. Okay, that's not scary at all. That's nice. Okay, we're playing it safe, my friends. We are playing it safe. Okay, that's really nice. These face palettes are brilliant. So good. Okay, for a powder blush hater, they are very seamless and very flattering. So I'm sorry that I've not put these on. Now, if you have visited my channel before, you'll know that the Florasis Tinted Pressed Powder is one of my absolute holy grail products. It's one of the best powders, if not the best powder I've ever tried in my whole life. It's amazing. Now, Florasis did send me some of their new powders as part of their new collection, and they sent me a lavender pressed powder. So this pressed powder is £36, and I mean, they are beautiful and they're so pretty to carry around in your bag. So now I'm thinking that we might have to try this, but I'm scared. All right, I'm scared. So it comes with a puff, but we're not going to use the puff because that's going to give us a really intense application. So for this, I'm going to use my BK Beauty 113. I'm just going to tap into it because I have no idea what this is going to be like at all. I don't really notice the lavender, but maybe you can, I don't know. But yeah, nothing is going to replace my original Florasis pressed powder, I don't think. But this is the one I would definitely recommend, which is the Wrong Tinted Pressed Powder. I have this in the shade Lotus. It's just the same as this one that you see me using on the channel, just different packaging. I think I prefer this packaging actually. It's lovely, isn't it? Let's take the... Ooh. Ooh. Oh, that's pretty. Wow. I mean, you are paying for the whole package with this brand. You really are. So they didn't send me any new lip products this time round, so I'm going to use a lip product that I already have from Florasis, the Blooming Rouge Ultra Smooth Satin Liquid Lipstick, and this is in the shade Sacred Warmth. These are so incredibly velvety, they're beautiful, and I've just started by lining my lips with my Maybelline Lifter Liner in the shade Player. These are perfect for any liquid lipstick hater. They are just like a velvety, beautiful lipstick and really soft matte in finish. Beautiful. So we are finished with our review of the brand new products from Florasis. If I was to pick my favorites, I am loving this new foundation. I think it gives the most natural, beautiful finish. My skin, I think, looks really decent today, but the shades are a little bit of an issue. I did have to mix them. So I think in a few weeks, the lightest one will probably be fine for me, but you know, you shouldn't have to mix two shades. So I'd say if you are interested in that foundation, I think your biggest problem will be the shade range, but maybe they'll bring out some more. Who knows? And I think it's a no-brainer what my other favorites are. The eyeshadow palettes, I think they're so gorgeous. and the face palettes. I do really think that Florasis are incredibly underrated. It makes me sad that more people don't talk about them, so they might review their products and then never use them again, whereas I absolutely love their products. And if you've not checked out their powders yet, then you probably need to, because they're incredible. They're the best pressed powders out there that I've ever tried. But I think if you're looking for a gift for someone, these make the best gift ever, because I mean, not just that they look incredible, but you can be guaranteed that you are going to get a quality product. So yes, a little bit more on the pricey side, but when you think about what you are getting, quality packaging, look at the quality eyeshadows, the presentation, you know, the absolutely stunning embossing on these, just unbeatable. Honestly, for the whole package, I don't think you can get better than Florasis. So do let me know what have been your favourite products from this video. Are you planning on picking any up? Have you tried any of these? Let us know everything down in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, take care and bye for now.